Rayla leaves Callum at the end of Through the Moon, the graphic novel that picks up at the end of Season 3 of The Dragon Prince and is meant to serve as a sort of stopgap between Season 3 and the upcoming Season 4. Whenever we get a Season 4. I do think it will be coming soon, but that might just be wishful thinking. Anyway, Callum begs her not to go alone, to let him come with her, as he remembers earlier in the comic when Rayla went into the Moon Nexus alone, and that choice to go alone almost resulted in her dying. He's not going to let that happen, but ultimately it's not up to him. She makes the decision herself. Very early in the morning, she sneaks out before Callum can notice, slipping away into the early light. She says she is doing this to protect him, and that there is no reason to believe she is not being sincere, however misguided she may be. Though she has no real proof that Viren is alive, his strange appearance in the Moon Nexus demonstrates to her that he might be. It creates that impression. And because he did such horrible things to Runan and to her parents, she cannot risk him still being alive. She's terrified just knowing he might still be out there. So we're left wondering, is she going to find Viren? And if she does find Viren, what is that going to evoke? What's going to happen? I would not be surprised if she is still separated from Callum when the season starts. They might explain in a short snippet at the start of the season what happened in the graphic novel. Co-creator of the show Erina Haas has outright said in a Reddit AMA that they might never see each other again. Now, I don't think we should take him completely seriously. For one, he does love to play pranks on people, as demonstrated in the Comic-Con on Zoom, wherein he waits until the very end of the session to announce that the show has been renewed for 4 more seasons. So, we should take his words with a grain of salt. He's being a little cagey here. There is no reason to believe that Rayla and Callum won't see each other again. Still, that he says this indicates that they might spend a good portion of this season apart. When will they meet again? It might not be for quite a long time, despite Callum's best intentions. This would be the first time that they've spent a significant amount of time apart from each other since the very start of the show. As I discussed on one of my previous videos about the Dragon Prince, I have no doubt whatsoever that Callum will run right after her once he realizes she is left. Honestly, if he didn't, that would be disappointing. It would not be consistent with what we know about his character. He cares a lot about Rayla, and the thought of her being gone would terrify him. There's nothing he would not do for her. He would search the entire world and put his life in danger just to see her again. Thus, despite Rayla's best intentions, she is not keeping Callum out of danger. Quite the opposite. She's further endangering him. As demonstrated during Season 3, they are much stronger together as a couple, as a unit. Rayla going after Viren by herself does not bode well. Though I love Rayla and admire the transformation she has undergone, her instincts are not always the best. Her and Callum balance each other out. Yes, he is much bolder than he was before. He's much more confident now, but he is still the cautious one, always looking at what's going to happen and planning out the best solution. He's looking out for what's practical, while she's more reliant on her instincts and her sheer brawn and athleticism. Though she does have a lot of heart, she occasionally makes the wrong decisions. This is even exemplified by their different fighting styles. Callum is a mage. It's best for him to stand back, study the situation, rely on his book learning, and then act, keeping himself out of harm's way. Whereas Rayla is much more of a brawler. She just charges right in. Technically, she's an assassin, but she's a pretty bad assassin, and not just because she's reluctant to kill people, but also because assassinations require a certain amount of skill and tact and elegance of planning, and Rayla does not have that. She is not going to concoct this very intricate plan for killing someone. She's just gonna charge right in and give it her best shot. Say no one detains her on her travels, no one calls her a traitor or tries to capture her. If that happens, and it is a big if, as it is nowhere near guaranteed, there's still the question left of what is she going to do once she gets to Viren. What is her plan? The last time she fought him, she nearly died. The only reason she survived is because Callum effectively performed that wing spell and saved her. Viren, of course, would not have survived had Claudia not used dark magic to revive him, possibly killing dozens of soldiers in the effort, but that Rayla would have managed to kill Viren had it not been for Claudia does not decrease the risk such a dangerous mission poses to Rayla. What is she going to do when she faces him, alone and uncertain? Has she thought about her plan before this point? Knowing Rayla, the answer is probably no. If Viren discovers Rayla is coming, which is a serious possibility, he would set a trap for her, and she would have no way to know. Callum does not hesitate to support her plan to hunt Viren because he loves her and he wants to be a supportive partner, but we as the viewers should be a little more jaded. We as the viewers should know that unless Rayla creates this comprehensive plan and studies her circumstances before charging right in, she has a very low chance of success. Now, if she was with Callum, his level-headedness would kind of balance out her impulsiveness, but since she left him behind, she's just alone, isolated, without any real idea of what she is going to do besides a burning passion to make sure Viren is dead. She's just left tracking him alone across a vast continent. She doesn't even know where he is. So she's putting herself in terrible danger for no real good reason. If she stepped back and formed a broad plan of what she was going to do to kill Viren before just rushing off, her chances of success would greatly increase. Of course, this is assuming that Viren is still the same person he was before, and that is not necessarily the case. He might be a different person after his death and subsequent resurrection. We don't see enough of him after this dark magic resurrection to see how it has affected him mentally and psychologically and spiritually. He seems to recognize Claudia, and he still has an unhealthy fixation with Eryth, but does he still remember everything that happened to him before his untimely death? He believes he survived. Now, from one perspective, that's natural. If I fell off a 100-foot cliff and somehow woke up, I would assume that I had miraculously survived, not that I had died and been resurrected. Still, we cannot be clear that he is 100% the same person he was before. He at least seems to have snapped out of the immediate power craze that obsessed him in the latter half of Season 2. This could just be because he's not under Eryth's direct influence, as Eryth has spun himself into a cocoon, but we don't really know. What if he changes for the better? It's not impossible. No, I'm not saying he should suddenly go against everything he has believed in for the past 3 seasons. That would be bad and sloppy writing. And I'm not even saying that he should suddenly become this crusader for justice, but what if he thinks that Eryth has gone too far, particularly when he sees how Eryth is affecting Claudia? What if Claudia falls far, far under Eryth's spell? How will Viren react? For all his flaws as a person, he does seem to genuinely love his daughter and want what's best for her. He's not Ozai. Yes, there are superficial similarities between Ozai and Viren, but Ozai only saw his daughter as a means for an end, whereas Viren does seem to care about her a lot, probably more than he cares about himself, honestly. What if Viren tries to change for the better, but Rayla won't believe him? What if he says that he's on her side and that he wants to help her take down Eryth, and she just doesn't buy it and goes after him anyway? She has made very clear that she will not be satisfied until Viren is dead. Until that happens, she will not be at peace. So what will happen when she finds him? Will she even find him, or will something go terribly wrong before that? I can't quite say what will happen to her in the future in Season 4, but I would feel much better if Callum were around, and the two of them could face the challenges of the world together instead of apart. So thank you all again. If you liked what you saw today, don't forget to like and comment and subscribe. Donate to my Patreon if you can and you want to see more videos like this. Keep watching The Dragon Prince. It is a brilliant, clever, warm, empathetic show that is only getting better with time. Every season has been better than the one before it. I'm so glad it's been renewed for its entire 7-season run. It's going to be a very lovely show for years and years to come. I can't wait. It's really exciting. So anyway, tune in soon for my next analysis. It will be coming soon, I promise you that. Thank you all again. Adios, comrades.